Welcome to the Optimizer Hunting Podcast. We're doing another one of these special podcasts. We're at the Matthews Retailer Show in Wisconsin Dells. I'm with Jared Pfeifer from Grandview Media. And Jared, thanks for joining us. It's kind of a different deal for us. We're trying to get some of the people who know us on YouTube to know us on our podcast, and get some people who know us on our podcast to know us on YouTube. So thanks for doing this video interview with us. And tell us a little bit about Grandview Outdoors and kind of what you do and what the company is all about.
Yeah, Chris, Grandview Outdoors, we're a publishing company with a number of titles in the outdoor industry, bow hunting world, archery business, whitetail journal, predator extreme, shooting sports retailer, tactical retailer. I've been with the company myself for about 12 years. We're based in Birmingham, Alabama, but my office is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So it's a great place to work. This time of year starts to get a little bit busy and crazy with hunting followed by the shows, but you know, that's why we do it.
It's show season, and this is kind of the kickoff of show season. Tell us a little bit about what you do during show season. What is your role at Grandview, and kind of how does that play out when you go to the shows?
Sure. So my role with Grandview Media is a group publisher. So I'm responsible for the overall sales and the revenue for all of our magazines now. My focus for most of my tenure with Grandview Media has been on the bow hunting specific magazines. But now moving into this show season, my role's changed a little bit with my responsibility as group publisher. So we'll attend this show here at the Matthews Show. I'll do the ATA show and then follow that with the SHOT Show as well. So, and really my role with all of them is similar for the most part, but different in certain ways with each show. So when I'm at the shows, my goal is to really get a chance to spend some face time with industry clients and friends. For the most part, I talk with most of the people a few times a year, maybe a little bit more depending on what we have going on, but this is really the opportunity to say hi, to catch up, to sit down face to face, and to get a little bit of that time that you can't otherwise have when you're talking to them on the phone.
That's one thing I think that the series of podcasts we're doing right now is we're talking to industry people such as yourself. We talk to sales reps and pro staffers, and one of the main themes we're getting is this business is kind of a small business, really, when you think about the industry itself, and it's based on relationships. And that's one thing you told me that's really what you're doing, is trying to build relationships and meet new people and kind of get together a little better with the people you already know.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I mean, this industry is very much a relationship-based industry. I mean, there's some of the guys here I've known for 12 years. And for the most part, whether you've worked with someone, 10 years ago or a couple of years ago, chances are they're still in the industry. Even if they're not in that particular role, they might be with a different company, but still within the industry. And I think it's very unique in that way. But these shows are a great opportunity to do just catch up. I mean, you get a chance to see friends, and more often than not, you're not here to talk business. You're here to talk about their fall, to see how they're doing, to see how their family's doing, because you've known them for, at least in my case, you've known them for a dozen years in many cases. So that's very, very valuable, because you need to build that trust and know that you're working for them, and you're trying to do what you can to help, and vice versa. So
you do a lot of hunting, not as much as you'd like, but you get a chance to go out and do a couple trips a year. How's your hunting season been this year?
I've got a few trips this year. I've got two little kids at home, so it's difficult to get up, but we do a few trips a year. The hunting was great. The killing was not so good, but it's been fun. I mean, at the end of the day, most of the trips we do, we're going to get out, we're going to entertain clients, bring out friends, and that really is what it's about, at least for me, because Lord knows if it would have been about killing a deer every time, I'd have quit a long time ago. But it really is part of the business, If you can get out and you can do it, and you can experience it, it makes a big impact, I think, in how you approach what you do in business and how you work with people. So yeah, this year was good, but Not a lot to show for it yet, but it's not over yet, so we'll see.
Still got some time. What's your favorite part about doing what you do?
Working with friends. I mean, to be honest, when I started, it was really a job. You know, I got it. I didn't know what it was going to turn into. I didn't know what it was going to become. And now, I've joked about it with my wife, especially, you know, with two young kids, it's tough to get out. But now, hunting is not only my job, but also my hobby. And the people that I work with are not only clients and co-workers, but they're my friends. And again, when you have a family, a young family, and work and everything else going on, you see these people more than you see friends that you've known outside of the industry. And so for me, coming to these events, talking with people, going hunting with them, whether we kill anything or not, is a huge thing for me, and very much I think the reason that I'm still doing it, I think a reason that a lot of people are still doing it.
There's a part about your job that you could change. What would it be?
Well, there's probably lots of parts about the job. How about this? I talked to a lot of people, and the other day someone had made a comment to me that actually resonated quite well, and I thought he was spot on. Where he said, you know, listen, as difficult as it can be, whether it's a deadline or whether it's you know, frustrations or you're busy, whatever the case is, because there's about 3 million bow hunters out there that would trade places with you in a heartbeat. And they were absolutely right, because that really is the case. I mean, it's not always, you know, the best thing in the world, because there's frustrations just like anything else. And you know, if I tell someone what I do, that's, you know, an outdoorsman or a hunter, they think it's the greatest job in the world. And some days it is. Some days it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, that's the case with all the jobs. So to put my finger on one thing specifically, I don't know. I mean, there'd be, maybe it's deadlines, maybe it's budgets increasing and travel at certain times of the year, but you know, it's all part of it, you know, and that's what makes it good. So even the bad stuff helps make it good.
Do you have anything new planned for 2015 that you're excited about?
Personally, personally, I'm just, you know, do what we typically do. As a company, we're actually doing several new things. Several of the titles that we have are on the outdoor shooting side of the market, not so much the bow hunting side. And we're launching a new magazine called Tactical Retailer, which we're going to launch as we come into the SHOT Show. That's been exciting for us, and there's a lot of other projects that we're working on that hopefully will come to fruition as we work through this year. But there's always something, and if you're not constantly trying to do something else, develop something else, grow, you're going to get left behind pretty quickly. So we as a company try to continue to do that.
You're shooting an HHA. Can you tell us a little bit about using a single pin sight? What's your experience been? I think a lot of people that maybe have shot an HHA for a long time understand the benefits, and some people that haven't are a little bit leery of the single pin. What's your experience been like?
Well, like I said, I had several hunts this year, and I had used an HHA, and at the end of the day, did not have an opportunity to necessarily take an animal, but for me, I've shot a single pin for years, and it's the simplicity of the one pin. I mean, more often than not, I'm in a tree stand. I know where we're going to be shooting, and I pre-range that. So for me, a single pin just seems to work. It's less to think about in the moment of truth, and it's there. So it's tough. It would be tough for me to change from a single pin and go back to something else. But at this point, I don't see a need to do so.
The Optimizer's won tons of awards in bow hunting world. You know, 11-time best single pin sight. New sight this year, the Kingpin. What have you seen of that, and what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, the bow hunting world readers have have loved HHA products for years. Like you said, 11 years in a row. This year, they made it better. I mean, I think they improved upon it. They put a lot of thought into it. They made a lot of changes. Some big, some small, but I think they really took something that a lot of people thought was already as good as they could be and actually made it better And I'm excited to see what happens this year and how it's received as we go to the shows, how it's received by the consumers when we go into the new year. But again, what they had was working, and you make it better. I got to believe that it's going to work and be received quite well.
Thanks for meeting with us, and appreciate your time. It was fun talking to you and kind of getting a little bit of insight on what you guys do. And I think it's really important. You talked about, and again, this is something that everybody I've talked to at this show that works in the industry has talked about, relationships and really building relationships. And there's just a lot of trust and a lot of friendship and just a lot of those type of things that go into being a part of this. And people, like you say, and you walk around, everybody asks you how your season went, and everybody's sharing photos and they pull their cameras out, or their phones out and check out the photos. So really cool. Thanks for meeting with us, and good luck as your show season goes on.
I appreciate it, Chris.